Hi, welcome to Modern Pet Door's video. This video is just about highlighting the difference between when you buy the pet door on its own compared to buying the pet door with the screen door adapter. So when you go through the checkout process, you'll know whether you want to add the screen door adapter or not. So the first thing to do is to open the sliding door, put the pet door in on its own to show you. So you just grab the pet door, pop it in the floor track, push it into the wall, slide the top panel up, tighten the thumb screws, and close your sliding door against the pet door. It's pretty square. So, two things you'll notice when you put the pet door in on its own. This is the sort of fast differences. Is that if you buy the pet door on its own, if you go to use your screen door, you can't put your screen door behind the pet door because obviously the flap wouldn't swing outside the house to let the pet in or out. So you have to leave the screen door ajar, either fully open, or you can leave it level with the pet door frame. Alright? But the tricky thing about that is the pet door's quite fat, so it won't fit in the screen door track usually. So you have to sort of put it in the glass door track. And because the screen door's in a separate track behind that, there's a gap here. And this is the gap that your mosquitoes and insects and vermin and so forth will come in through, which is not ideal. That's not so much of an issue for people who are renting, for instance, or homeowners who are putting it in the laundry, which is where most people buy the pet door on its own, where they either haven't got a screen door or they don't care whether it's used because they don't use the laundry much anyway, and you can keep your laundry door closed so it's not going to affect your heating and cooling in your house in relation to airflow. So that's the screen door, so you lose the screen door functioning or your security door functioning when you get the pet door just on its own. Now, in terms of security, when you close the sliding door against the pet door, you'll notice obviously the catch plate's still in the wall and the pet door's blocking those two from marrying. So you have to come up with an alternative way to lock these sliding doors to the pet door. The simplest way and the cheapest way, there's a rod like this that's included with every pet door. You can just measure and cut this and drop it in the track in the floor behind the sliding door, and that will wedge the sliding door against the pet door. Another similar kind of mechanical wedging piece of hardware is a little patio bolt, which often go to the top rear here, and you drill a hole up inside your top track, and that pins the pet door, the sliding door against the pet door. So they're two simple options. There's also these little aluminium window clamps you can buy from the hardware. We don't tend to recommend them because you're going to scratch and take all the powder coating off your top track on your sliding door because they clamp up behind the sliding door here to stop it from coming back. And they're quite difficult to do up tight. If you don't do it up tight enough, someone can give it a yank and probably still get the door open anyway. So you just have to be aware that that you need to come up with a different way to lock the door when you get the pet door on its own. Now, some other brands offer various bracket contraptions that you can screw onto the pet door, which offset the catch plate over the pet door, which is what's needed to use the existing catch plate. We looked at this 5 or 6 years ago and sort of binned it for a few reasons. One, funny enough, just the workwear I was wearing when I was experimenting with this, I kept catching my elbow on it when I walked through the door because the catch plate was offset off the pet door. But more importantly, it's not really that secure because when you put a bracket on there and you offset the catch plate on there, there's a gap between the top of the bracket and bottom of the bracket and the rest of the sliding door. And all it takes is for someone to grab like either a jimmy bar or a sliding hammer and grab the edge, because you can move the pet door back and forward slightly in the frame, grab the leading edge of the sliding door and use the pet door as leverage and try and bend it open. Or a hacksaw blade fits nicely through and you can just cut straight through the bracket in a minute or two. So it's kind of risky, we think, and the relative benefits I think are quite limited because you can't use your screen door anymore if you put the bracket on, and it just doesn't really make a great deal of sense, and you also get charged more for it. If you do want security, then you're much better off, in our view, to get the screen door adapter because it offers quite a few benefits which we'll run through now. So, what is the screen door adapter? It's essentially a mimic of your sliding door frame that runs up your wall over here. So your sliding door frames, your standard door frame is 10 centimetres wide, which is what this is, and it's got a channel section in it to lock and close your glass door, and a channel section to grab your screen door. So there's some prongs or fins on the back, and I've designed it to actually insert into the pet door frame so it gives a nice concealed look. So you just put you line it up. It's helpful to have a rubber mallet or a sand shoe. You don't have to be fragile. They're not. You don't have to be careful because they're not fragile. I trimmed this one with a hacksaw before I made this video. So you just measure the gap between the bottom of your top track and the top of your floor track, and you cut it to the length of the hacksaw. Unfortunately, everyone makes their sliding doors different heights, so you need to trim that because it's actually fitting. It's like an internal door frame, I suppose. So what that does is that then gives you a frame that your screen door can close into, and you'll notice there's no more gaps here. So the bugs can't get in, the mosquitoes can't fly in, the weather can't get in. You can also transfer your capture, so if you've got security doors, you can actually transfer your capture because this adapter can be screwed into the pet door, and the pet door can be secured into the door frame. So that way you can use your screen door or security door, which can be quite important because I think there's been a recent trend where burglars are actually going to houses when people are home, just coming through open doors. So it can be quite helpful to have the security door working because then you can have air coming to the house without having to worry about someone just walking and grabbing your purse. And then the other thing that it does, it gives you a channel section for your glass to close into. And so then you would take the existing catch plate off the wall and you would relocate it onto the adapter, so that I've just used double-sided tape just to show you. So then your sliding door just locks into the door frame. So then when you open your sliding door, your catch plate remains on the adapter. Notice that it's actually screwed onto the face of the adapter, not the pet door. So that means it sits inside the sliding door frame nicely and works perfectly. There's also security features with high-end sliding doors as well, like this one, which has 2 beeps which lock out. So it can be quite helpful to utilise those security functions by transferring the existing catch plate. It looks good as well because what it does is that it hides all the gaps between the pet door and the sliding door. If you just get the pet door on its own, there will usually be gaps up on top and bottom. This door is actually square for some reason, but often you have to adjust the rollers on your sliding door to bridge gaps at the top and the bottom. So you're also allowing sort of prying wrist there and extra work at trying to square everything up. Whereas because the door jamb or the screen door adapter actually has a recess, it hides all the gaps. It's better for bug proofing and weather proofing. Works quite well. So if security is important to you, or using your security or screen door is important to you, or both, then you'd want to select the screen door adapter at checkout. If you're just putting in the laundry, you never use your screen door, you don't even have one, you don't use the door very frequently, or some customers who tend to buy a pet door on its own tend to be those that have like 2 or 3 sets of sliding doors in their living areas or in their house, and so they can just dedicate one door to the dog, in which case they're not concerned about losing the function of the screen door because they've got other doors and windows. So that can work quite well. If you've got multiple sliding doors, you can dedicate one to the dog. Then you can just use the pet door on its own and use a patio bolt or a rod in the track to lock it. Or the laundry. Just with the laundry, you've got to watch out that they're making them pretty narrow these days. So, your pet door, you lose the opening space size. So some sliding doors are only like 66 centimetres wide. So you just want to watch out before you purchase that you have got enough room to get through. If not, then getting the pet door on its own can also be a good option because you can easily take them out in a few seconds. Basically the same process you saw when putting it in, so how long it takes to take it out. So that's what we recommend if security and full functioning is important to you, getting the screen door adapter. We don't charge you for extra brackets and stuff you don't need. There's no hidden costs. We won't charge you for delivery. We offer a really high quality product. We've got an industry leading 10-year warranty on our doors, so excellent product. We just sell them at wholesale prices, and we don't have extra stuff there that you don't really need. If you want to buy your screen door adapter with a pet door, then you just click on the Patio Pet Door item on the website, modernpetdoors.com.au, and when you add to cart, you can select adding the screen door adapter to cart, and then you can go through and check out. If you have any questions, let us know. Part of all the sales goes towards multiple sponsors that we are involved in. We sponsor guide dogs, Dogs for Autism and Asperger's Disorders. We sponsor the Salvation Army and a few animal rescue centres as well. So we try and give back and whatever we can. If you have any questions, feel free to call us or contact us through the website. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoy your pet.